All right, let's try that again. Let's try that again. I think for the first half, you probably did not hear me because my mic was not on. So, I want to welcome you guys to Wake Up and Show Up Live. I am your host, Portia Scott. Hello, hello, hello. If you guys can hear me, type it in the chat. Yes, we can hear you. Hello, darling. So one of the things that we always do here is I always want to know, what are you grateful for? I think it's so very important because we always have something to be grateful for. So for me, I am so grateful. Many of you guys were on the call. If you were on the call yesterday or on the show yesterday, you know that my son is home from the Navy and I had not seen him in person in like 3 years. So I'm so grateful that one, that he serves this nation in the United States Navy, two, that he is home and we get to spend some time with him. So those are the things that I am grateful for. So you guys let me know in the chat what you are grateful for. Let me know what you're grateful for today because I want to hear it from you. So, I think people are not. Let me change that. Thank you. So it looks like you guys are not able to chat or hear the chat because something is going on with kids. So that is what I'm doing. I am currently going to make sure that that's funny. Hold on. It says we can't chat. It says your context is flagged for kids which disable. Oh, okay. Let's try that again. All right. I'm saving these changes. So if the changes worked, go in the chat and let me know if it worked. I'm telling you, the last 2 days on these lives, yesterday I completely hung up on the live. And today my audio wasn't working. And then you were not able to chat. So let me know in the chat, Daryl, if you can jump back on and let me know if you are able to chat. I hope you guys are because that's part of the experience that we want to be able to give you is that you're able to talk back and forth to me. And so I want to make sure that I know who's on because I can't even see who's on because why? Because you can't chat. So I did make that difference. So if you guys can chat, say something in the chat to me. I'm not sure what that was because we've done it a lot of times and that's never happened. But hey, listen, this is what happens when you go live. So you guys, one of the things I want to make sure that you know, he said we can chat now. All right. So in the chats, one, let me know what you're grateful for. And two, just give me a hello, darling, because we are rolling. So one of the things that I want to do is, hello, darling. Hey, Val. One of the things that I want to do is I want to welcome you to this community. If you guys have been listening to Wake Up and Show Up Live since the beginning when we went daily and then we went weekly, this really is an interactive and inspirational community. And I created this community because I just believe in executing. I believe that life is short and it is instrumental that we show up. in our lives that we're present, that we're taking it off of, that we're taking it off of autopilot. I'm laughing because Daryl said, I'm grateful we can chat now. Hey. And so this is what I want you to do. If you have already joined the community, when you text wake up to 31996, I am asking you to wash, repeat, wash, rinse, and repeat. This is what I'm asking you to do. I'm asking you to text hello, but to be honest, you could text whatever you want to me to this number. It's 404-737-0867, because we are going over to a new community, which is a little more interactive, which you're literally texting back and forth to me. And if you have my actual phone number, this is a little bit different. This is for this community. So you will know, one, when we're going live. You'll also know when we have stuff coming up. And we have so much that's coming up that I want to give you so much content, so many resources that you can go and that you can live in purpose, that you can live with profit, that you can maximize your time, but that we are living intentionally. And so I would like you to join this community. I'm asking you to text the word hello. You can screenshot it. I'll make sure it comes up a couple times during the show as well, but text hello to 404-737-0867. And if you are joining us on Facebook, I want to make sure that you like us, subscribe to us on YouTube as well. That's where I really do a lot of the weekly show from, is YouTube, because we are creating that audience over there. So you guys, I know you didn't come in for all of this talking, but you know what? I missed you guys. I did not see you last week. King Joseph, thank you so much for joining, darling. Good morning. I did not see you guys last week. And so I think I'm just overjoyed and overwhelmed because I get to see you guys today. Audio's working, chat is working. So I think we are ready. Hello, mommy. She said, hello, darling. I'm late. I forgot. Look at that. Look at that, a mess. I'm late. I forgot. It's okay, mommy. But I'm super excited about today because it is something that I absolutely love to talk about, which is disciplines. It is daily disciplines. And so one of the things when I was thinking about this, I say this quote a lot, but I'm going to say it to you guys again. And it says that the treasure isn't in the destination. It's found along the journey. And every step of the journey is made up of the disciplines I put in place now. Did y'all hear that? That so many times the treasure isn't in the destinations, but it's along the journey. And the way that we're able to really reach that destination along the journey and enjoy those steps is the disciplines that we put in place right now. And so one of the things that I always love to say, and that I've said, if you've heard me on here, if you've heard one of my keynotes, if you've heard me speak, you will hear me say that discipline is your systematic approach to success. Discipline is your systematic approach to success. And so oftentimes when we say that, people are like, woo, yes, my morning routine, my all of these things, which are important, which we're definitely going to talk about. But I think before we jump into the discipline, I think it's very important that we go ahead and we really identify what success means to us. If you're on here, I want you to think about what success means to you. Because for some people, success is monetary. It's a monetary number. It's financial freedom. It's getting the house. It's graduating from college. It's getting my kids through school. It's raising kids that are contributing individuals to society. It's having a great marriage. It is so many things to so many people. And you can have a different metric for success in different areas of your life. You can have a metric for success as it relates to your career, or as it relates to your family, as it relates to your relationships. And so when we have these different measures of success, it's important that we understand that that's what I want. And the reason why I think it's so important is because if we are going after someone else's success, then that poses a whole nother problem. Why would we create this world around what someone else says success is? So it's important that we identify it, because if it is a monetary number in your bank account, then at least you know what you're going to, at least you know what journey you're on. If it is success in your relationships, in your marriage, if it's success in being able to live intentionally, to have freedom, to be able to fly around the world, to be able to see the world, to be able to teach your children different, whatever that level or success metrics is to you, I want you to identify that. I want you to identify that, because if we don't, it doesn't matter about your daily disciplines, because what happens is you will start to create a life that you hate. You will start to create a life that you don't want. You will start to create a life full of frustration, full of failure, because it's not what you wanted, but it's what someone else wanted. And so, it was funny because I was talking to one of my mentors, one of my coaches, and I was telling her about this particular live. I was telling her about the podcast. I was talking, and I said, one of the things is that I have to figure this out, because I'm not selling this get rich quick scheme. I'm not selling this, oh, I'm gonna get you 30,000 in 30 days. And people, that is their thing. That's not my thing, And so I think it's important that if in fact I thought that that was a success factor, then I would be failing miserably at it. But when I look at what my success factor is, according to the things that I do and my life philosophy, which we talked about a while ago, and remember, your life philosophy is the way by which you govern your life. So I always told you guys that my life philosophy is love God, love me, love others. Those are the three basic philosophies that I live with. Obviously, under there's underlying tones and underlying themes. But for me, integrity, I'm going to be kind. Those are like the two things that I live by. I'm going to do it in integrity. What I bring to you, it's going to be integral. What I say, I try to keep my word as much as possible. I want to make sure that I'm doing the right things when nobody's looking. Those are my life philosophies. And so, does my metric for success line up with that? Because if not, then there's going to be this static. There's going to be this just fighting back and forth, because my life philosophy and my success metrics don't mix up. So for me, like I said, I'm going to love God, I'm going to love me, and I'm going to love people. And I believe that everything else falls in line behind that. So if my success metrics is, what, one of the things for me that I will say at the end, that I was successful, even in my business, even if it does not turn out the way I want it to, is that I tried, and I tried with integrity. Because if in fact I tried and I was jumping over people and I was doing things that were outside of my character, and it grew, well, then my success metric still wasn't met, because it was not in line with my life philosophy. So it's so important that whatever that success metric is, it lines up with your life philosophy. It is that I can sleep at night if I meet that measure of success. But I do believe that some of us have it outlined, and some of us may know. And if you don't know, listen, take the time. That's why we do this. That's why we come here. That's why we share together. That's why hello, darling. It's because I want to make sure that we're living intentionally. And it makes no sense to get to a place that you can't enjoy, because your peace is stolen, because you're robbed of who it is that you are. Let me tell you, there are times that I'm like, oh, I could be here. And I could have gotten there on the backs of somebody else. I could have gotten there by lying. I could have gotten there by cheating. But at the end of the day, I sleep at night. I sleep well at night, because my success factors line up with my philosophy. And when one of those is out of line, I have to check which one it is. Is it that my life philosophy? Is it that my success metrics is different? And your metric of success is yours. I can't tell you if it's right or wrong, and you shouldn't feel like it's right or wrong. If you say, Portia, you know what? My success right now, I would say success in my business is going to be that I make 250 grand next year. Or if you say my success metrics is that I am going to get promoted to director of the company that I'm with by next year, that is awesome. And so, whatever your success metric is, we don't allow one people to tell us what it is, and we also make sure that it's aligned with our philosophy. So I figured we had to settle on what does success look like for you before we even get into the systematic approaches to your discipline, because it means nothing if you, one, don't know what that success metric is, and if it's not in alignment with your philosophy, then you're really not living intentional. You honestly are living on autopilot, and you just may be making a lot of money, or you just may be knowing a lot of people or building your repertoire, but you're not living intentionally. Intentional living means that I am aligned with my life's philosophy in the things that I do and that I'm executing in them. And so when we talk about that definition of success, I want you guys to think about, what that success looks for you. And then, like I said, discipline is our systematic approach to success, right? Because it works in both ways. So there's disciplines that I have that lead me down that road of success to that success metric. And then there are disciplines that I have that lead me the opposite way. So it's very important that we look at both of our disciplines, or the disciplines that we have in place. And you know it because it is that systematic stuff that you do without even knowing. Some people will call them habits. It's those behaviors. And if they do not change, our actions will not change. Our results will not change. So it's so important that we're looking at this, and we're going to go over disciplines. We're going to go over this for the next couple of weeks because I think it's super duper important. And so that we know what that is. So one of the things that we talked about 2 weeks ago was intention and strategy. And so what I want to talk about is, how do I change? How do I make that change? We make that change when we marry intention, strategy, and discipline. Intention is the what? It is my vision. It is my motivation. It is my goal. It is, my success metric. That is my intention. My strategy is, how am I going to do that? My plan of action. And sometimes we stay stuck on intention without strategy. So we want to make sure we tie that in, and we are over the coming weeks. And so we want to make sure we have the what. The strategy is the how. It is my plan of action. But my disciplines now come in line because my disciplines will speak to my strategy. I can have a plan of action outlined. I can have everything. But if I don't have the disciplines in place to support my strategy and my intention, I will never change. So my intention could be something like, I want to lose 30 pounds in the next 60 days. That's perfect. That is my what? That is my goal. My strategy is that, I'm going to sign up for this particular challenge that will give me the videos that I need, that will give me the exercises, that will give me the eating, the eating plan that I need. That is my plan of action. That's how I'm going to get to that 30 pounds in 60 days. Now, I have this great strategy. I've been set up on this plan. I have all of what I need to eat. I know what I can eat, what I can't eat. I know what I need to follow. I know my macros. I know how many calories I need to intake. But then my discipline, it is the systematic approach to success. What do they look like? And so one of the ways that can be is, okay, you know what? One of my disciplines right now is, I know, so many, if you guys know me, I love sweets. Sweets is my nemesis. I don't really have to have fried chicken. I don't really have to have fried foods. I don't have to have processed foods outside of sweets. I can eat very well and be happy, but sweets is my nemesis. I love cookies, cakes, pies. I'm telling you, Oreos, red velvet cake. You make it and bake it, I eat it. Ice cream, I love it all. And so for me, this is one of the ways or disciplines that I put in place so that I'm successful throughout the day, is that if I eat sugar in the morning, I already know what my day is going to be like. So if I have tons of sugar in my coffee, and then if I have a donut, or if I have a little Debbie, or if I have some type of pastry in the morning, the rest of my day is going to be thrown off. And I know this. So then I have to put a discipline in place. But if I work out the first thing in the morning, then it changes my mindset because now it has put my mind in motion and set the foundation for my day that this particular day, we're going to eat right. We're going to do right because you just burnt 500 calories. You just ran 3 miles. So it puts my mind in a different place. And so it is those disciplines that I'm talking about. What are those things that you have in place? I'll tell you my 3, and then we're going to get out of here. So number one of my disciplines, my daily disciplines that I have in place is my devotion. Listen, before I do anything, I do my devotion. I may roll over and grab my phone. Sometime I get up, I'll come in my office or a place and I'll read my devotion. I spend that time. So for you, it may be devotion, it may be prayer, it may be some type of meditation, it may be quiet time, whatever it is. What is the first thing that you do? And the reason why it's so important that the very first thing you do when you get out of bed is because it lays the foundation for your entire day. So for me, I have a mind that runs wild. It is gone all the time. It is always moving. And so one of the things that I do is that I do my devotion. So within my devotion, I make sure that that's the first thing that I do, that I spend time in my devotion, because I want to make sure that it sets my day. Number 2, there's a couple things in between this, but number 2 are very basic ones. Number 2, I do not read emails. And I know Paula's going to laugh about this because she knows what I'm about to say. I do not read emails before 9 a.m. Why? Because if they were dying, they would have called me. They would not text me. They would not email me. They would call me. Why do I say it that way? Because if somebody's dying or somebody has died, I will get a phone call. I won't get an email. I won't get a text. And the reason why I don't look at emails is because I feel like when you look at emails first thing in the morning, especially work emails, especially emails, even if you're in business, those emails are like being jolted out of your sleep. I can say this because for a very long time, I am a recovering workaholic. I'm still working on it. I'm still working on it. And did I say workaholic? I hope I did, because I was like, did I say? But I am a recovering workaholic. And so I am still yet recovering from that because I actually enjoy work. I actually enjoy being busy. However, I would answer my email before 9 o'clock and it would just send my day off. I would have anxiety about what I had to do when I get into the office, how I was going to fix this. It's okay, because I had to start at did they die? And I know that is that's very extreme, but I was like, listen, I'm not answering this until 9 o'clock. My day starts at 9, but maybe your work day starts a little bit earlier, right? So you probably get up earlier, but you still don't want to answer your phone until you are ready to start your work day, or your emails until you're ready to start your day. Why? Because it starts your day thinking about what I got to do, what I got to give, how I could do this, how I can be this, how I can do this. You don't need that first thing in the morning. The first thing you need in the morning is that you want to make sure that you are setting the best possible atmosphere for your day, because your day is going to be up and down. Some things are going to go like you want it. Some things aren't. And so the best part to be is that you cannot determine what's happening externally, but you can always determine what's happening internally. And for me, that is the most important thing, because if in the morning I read that email and it has shot me somewhere else, now I am not a great wife. I am not a great mother. I am not a great person for me. I'm not showing up because I'm going to be so rattled that I'm rushing people in my house, that I don't have time for people in my house. And to be quite honest, the people that live in this house are the humans that are most important to me on the planet. And so before I give somebody else 100%, I want to make sure that I've given the people that matter the most to me 100%. So I don't answer emails before 9 a.m. And number three, what I do is I set out my day. So I use a high performance planner. I actually put the link in here in YouTube as well as Facebook. So if you're over at Facebook, you can click that link and you can see what I use. It is a daily planner. I thought I had it in here. It is my Brendan Bruchard high performance planner. Every day I look at it. And not only do I just put what I need to do, but it asks me questions. Like it says, like, what can cause you stress today? Oh, or overwhelm. I write that down. Then it asks me, how are you going to fix this? If you were coaching yourself, what would you do? And I love that because you know what it does? It puts that back in my hands that I am now responsible for my reactions. I am now responsible for how I'm going to deal with different things. It puts the responsibility on us and not somebody else, not some external factor, not someone else, but on me. How am I going to be responsible for me? It also asks the question, who needs you to show up and be your best self today? And that is incredible because now I go back and I'm like, okay, you know who really needed me today is such and such. And I do that in the morning. That's one of the first things I do in the morning is that I pull out that planner and I kind of detail what that day is going to be like. And then at night, it has something that I close out the day with. It also lets you set your weekly goals, what you want to do throughout the week, as well as your month. And then you get a weekly assessment. Okay, I have to say I am very competitive. People who know me know I am. And so when I go back to the week, I'm very honest with how I was. But from one week to the other, my hope is that I've done better. My hope is that I've gotten better. My hope is that my success metric has become a little more clear. My hope is that my life philosophy has been aligned with everything that I've done. And so those are like my three disciplines. And so I tell you my three disciplines because this is what I want you to do is that as you're looking at your day, I want you to literally write down what you do, not your meetings. I don't want you to write all that stuff down, but I want you to write the things that you do when you wake up. So for me, like I said, the first thing is my devotion, right? So I'll do my devotion. I get up. I'll likely take my what do you call it? Fat burner, because it also has a thermogenic in it that helps when I work out. I put my workout clothes on. I usually go to work. So I usually get up between 5 and 6 or 5:30 and 6 o'clock. I get up early enough so that I'm ready before my kids get up. So we have devotion, then we work out. Then after I work out, I come back, I get the kids ready, I do these things. I don't have my coffee until I'm ready to get to work if I'm going to have coffee. And so what I've done now, I told you guys, if I have a lot of sugar at the beginning of the day, my day is shot. But I've also worked out, and so my body almost doesn't even crave it. And so what I do is if I want like a taste of sugar, I usually do almond milk and I'll do like a couple of drops of creamer in it. And those are the things. So I want you to write down, what are those things that you do when you're getting the kids ready? Are you eating sugar first thing in the morning? For you, maybe it's not a big deal. For me, it is. Your girl is getting ready to be 41. Hello. And I got to be fit and fabulous at 41 because I got to live another 80 years so that I can see my children's children grow up. And so that's important to me. But what are some of the things? Do you get up and immediately answer your email? And this is not to bring condemnation, but I want you to actually ask yourself, reading this email, how does that make me feel? So when you're writing out these things, how does it make you feel? When I was reading my email first thing, I knew that it was giving me anxiety. So I had to figure out a way that I didn't do that anymore, that I no longer read my email first thing in the morning, so that I could set a clear discipline for my day. So that's what your homework would be, is that I want you to write down those things that you do daily. You know, what is it that you listen to when you get up? What is it that you do? How do you get ready? What is it that you say? What do you eat or drink? Do you work out? Like, look at all of these things and check off the ones that immediately change the course of your day in in a way that is not setting you up for success. And then figure out how to change that. And sometimes it literally is not doing it. It's not like you have to do this brand new thing. It really is just not doing it. And then maybe you say, okay, I'm a level off. I'm not going to do it today. I'm going to try it on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, because I think it is those small steps that we make along the journey. It's the small changes. So I hope this was good to you guys. I absolutely love talking about productivity and discipline and living intentionally. And so I want you guys to, one, join our community. You can text the word hello to 404-737-0867. If you have not done so, I want you to go ahead and do that now. And then I want somebody to type in the chats August 26th. Type in the chats August 26th. August 26th. Why? Because August 26th, we are having a free, say free, because if it's free, it's for me. We are having a free webinar. If you think that over the course since March that you've been getting great content about productivity, about how to go after your goals, how to set your goals, how to execute. One of the things that I want you guys to know is that I did project management and still do it actually for other companies for well over 11, 12, 12 years. And so in this free webinar, what I want us to do is that we are going to think about a goal that you've been putting off. What is that goal? What is that vision that you've been putting off? Because one, you have procrastinated, or because of fear, or because you don't know the next step. I want to help you with that. I want to help you take the strategy that I used, one, to come completely off my job. How did I not only plan that? Because we are not only planning, we're not only going to use SMART goals. Listen, I am going to give you the deep and dirty stuff that you can do to make sure that you not only plan, but that you execute. These are the same tools that I use to come off my job. It is the same tools that I use to launch my podcast in 35 days. It is the same tool that I use right now to launch other podcasts within those time frames. And so I'm going to give you those corporate strategies that we use in project management, those foundational steps that you can use that are not, don't think of it like it's going to be inundated. It's not. It's going to be the basic that you need so that you can get started, so that you can plan and execute through your procrastination. Because just because you plan, your procrastination doesn't stop. Just because you plan, your fear doesn't stop. Just because you plan, you still may not know the next steps. And so what we're going to do here is we're not only going to plan, but we're going to execute. And how are we going to execute? How are we going to do that, Portia? We are going to do that through your behaviors. We're going to look at your behavior types, and we're going to figure out what do you need to do to make sure that you execute. So when you have that fork in the road where you're like, man, I have this plan, I have this dream, this webinar, you do not want to miss it. One of the things that I'm going to do is I'm going to offer it to people who are here in the live. And if you know someone that really needs this, I want you to share as well. So next week, I will have out the link where you can go in and you can register. Also come into the Facebook group that we're going to have so we can have this webinar. So I'm going to do it on the 26th. I'm also thinking about adding another day for Q&A so I can answer your questions. So I can answer your questions as it pertains to that. So you guys, I'm so very excited. You all know I'm going to have a little story. We're going to have a little inspiration, but we are going to execute, because you guys know I believe in execution, but I believe that the way that I do it is through storytelling and inspiration. So I'm super excited about that. Paula said, I watched on YouTube. All my comments are there. Excellent information. Thank you. Joseph said, Portia Scott, making small steps been working well for me. August 26th, it's free. Yes, Paula said it's free. August 26th, it's free. Yes. Thank you all so much for joining. Joseph said he's a recovering workaholic as well. Yes. If someone was dying, they would call you. Guys, listen, I'm just saying. I'm not texting anybody. I'm not emailing anybody. So if it is that important, then guess what? you would call me. So those are that. But I want you guys to think about those areas in your life, those disciplines in your life that you're doing first thing in the morning. Let's take it from first thing in the morning, because what we're trying to do is set a foundation. We want to set a foundation for not just our mornings, but for our days and then for our lives. And it all starts with one step. So I want to make sure that we're doing those one steps in the morning. All right, guys, I've held you long enough. Thank you guys so very much for joining. You know how we do it every single week. We are back here at 12 p.m. next Monday. So if you thought this was good, next Monday, we're going to start putting things into plan. The great thing about you guys being here, and this is why you should invite people to come, is because you are actually getting stuff so that you could ramp up for that August 26th webinar. So when people get on there, you're already going to be ready for the big part of the content and dig deep into it. So I want to bring this to you because I want you guys to thrive. I want you guys to be in purpose. I want you guys to be living intentionally. I want you to have what you need. It's unfair that those corporate strategies are sitting up there and we have stuff to do. And I know that I have those tools that I can bring to you. And so that is what I'm going to do, darling, is I'm going to bring it to you so that we are out here thriving. We are going to go from dreaming to doing. So you guys, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for joining. As always, waking up is automatic. Showing up is intentional. Today, I will show up. See you guys next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Get